What questions do you think employees should be asking HR that you haven't seen them ask enough?
One question actually I would expect employees to be asking is how they will scale through the corporate ladder. Okay. Yes. I understand employees when they are afraid to ask because they feel they'll be judged. They feel it will impact management decisions and all of that. That's okay. It's okay to feel that way. But it will be better for you to ask these questions because they are your guide.
Yeah.
Nobody would want to be in an institution just for being their sake.
Yeah.
I'm sure as the institution has visions, the individuals too should have visions.
Hello, Dad. Welcome to another episode of the 021 podcast. My name is Maame Efua Atta-Boahen. And on today's episode, I'll be speaking with Maame Efua Atta-Boahen. She is an HR professional with over a decade of experience in one of Ghana's foremost banks. I'm really excited about this conversation. And if you have any questions on HR, on politics at work, on sexual harassment, and on any other thing, you need to stick with us because we're about to have a brilliant conversation. Welcome, Maame.
Thank you, Shifa. It's an honor, actually.
Oh, thank you. I'm really glad that you could make it.
I must commend you, actually. This is a beautiful thing you're doing. You're doing wonderful.
Thank you. Really good.
Anyway.
Why did you decide to pursue a career in HR?
Okay, so to be honest, in the beginning, I did not have an idea what I wanted to do. I was actually bored with being a teller. So I started as an NSP and then I transitioned to the tellering post. So over there, I realized that all I do is, hello, next customer, nice meeting you. How may I be of service to you today? And all of that. And I felt that, look, how many years do you want to do this? Yes. So that got me thinking. And then I started looking through the bank to see what would it be of interest and then what would also fit into my values as a person. And I realized that I love helping people. But couldn't I have achieved that at the tailoring point? I could. But I realized that towards end, after that, what happens next? I want to be at the peak. So then I had to think through again. I just decided to do a course in HR, SHRM, actually. And then after that, an opening came. And then I realized that, why can't you do this job? Yes, I should go for it. Actually, someone else introduced me to the role. Someone else saw it on an intranet and then told me to go and apply for it. So I applied and then I got the job.
Nice. Yes. Look at you.
Yes.
Love it. Is HR really our friend?
HR is your partner. We are not just your friend. We are your partner. We are there for you.
Yes. I don't believe that.
Look. You have to believe it because in as much as people think that HR is there mainly for management, for business, HR is at the intersection, let me say, because we are there for business, truly. We are also there for employees because employees are actually the resource for the company.
Yeah.
The company would not exist. I mean, most companies will not exist without the resources, which are the employees. So HR is actually your partner, right?
You know, I asked that because a lot of the time, it just feels like you don't hear from HR until you're in trouble, you know, and it's usually they come in to tell you things in favor of the organization or of your employer and not in favor of you, the employee. So I think that I speak for a lot of people to say that we just don't know where HR stands, or at least we don't know if HR stands with us. Feels like HR stands with everybody but us. You know, what questions do you think employees should be asking HR that you haven't seen them ask enough?
That's a brilliant question, actually. One question actually I would expect employees to be asking is how they will scale through the corporate ladder. Okay. Yes, because we think that, I understand employees when they're afraid to ask because they feel they'll be judged. They feel it will impact management decisions and all of that. That's okay. It's okay to feel that way. But it will be better for you to ask these questions because they are your guide.
Yeah.
Nobody would want to be in an institution just for being their sake.
Yeah.
I'm sure as the institution has visions, the individuals too should have visions.
Yeah.
Exactly. So as you have visions, ask yourself, how am I going to achieve whichever vision I have in mind? So it is not bad to be asking about how can I get promoted? How can I get to head, director? It is not a bad thing at all. It is actually a brilliant question to be asking so that you know what you are expected of to get through to the ladder.
Right. That's a good one. I never thought of it. I never thought of going to HR to say, okay, tell me what's next. I want to be here in 5 years. What can I do about it? Or what should I feel like I would typically go to my boss rather than HR, but it's great to know that I can go to HR and ask about that.
Exactly. Not to cut you short, but I think that I'm of the opinion actually that for any well-structured corporate environment, you should have policies concerning career management, concerning performance management, even promotions. You should have that in place as a well-structured institution. But let's say your institution doesn't have that available. Then it behoves on you, the employee, that you should go and ask. It actually even puts you in a brighter light. And then I see you as more of a serious person. You're not just there to come and hit the 8 to 5 and then you're going home. No, you have a purpose, you have a vision for your life, and you also want to achieve that. Yes.
Love it. What's the biggest misconception that people have about what HR can do and what HR cannot do for them?
That's one.
Okay.
I say that one because, in fact, first of all, from afar, people think that HR is just about hiring and firing.
Because that's the only time we get to see that guy. Bye. Oh, hey, welcome.
It's actually deeper than that. HR has moved from the admin HR because now systems are taking over.
Yeah.
So if all you're doing is coming in, doing interviews, I mean, they are strategic, but if it's just about the admin part of it, then I'll say you are a bit behind.
Yeah.
HR is now strategic, okay? We are looking at the company strategy. We are looking at how we can bring in the best fit people to be able to achieve those strategies and goals. Okay. So HR is no more about admin staff and all of that. So that's one misconception people have about HR, that we are there for hiring, firing, or we are there to help you manage your career. We are there to help you look through yourself and find out what else I can do as an employee. Yeah.
How should women approach asking for raises and promotions? You just said that we should ask you, but I feel like if there's one thing we know about our gender, is that some way somehow society has forced women or at least primed women to not ask for these things, right? If you take a man and then take a woman, a man is likely to ask. I mean, you're in the industry, so you would even have like better data. How do you think that women can approach the topic of a promotion and a raise?
Well, sorry to burst your bubbles because it's not just about women. Actually, I feel some men find it hard to ask that question.
Okay.
So it's just about employees and how they should attack such questions. First of all, I am of the opinion that you should have your facts ready. Why do you think you need the promotion? What is it you've been doing over the past few years or months? Are you hitting your targets as expected? And for most well-structured companies, I come back to that. For most well-structured companies, they should have a promotion policy. So that now it's not about a question of how do I get promoted, but rather I have actually gone through everything that your policy is stating. So then what is the gap? Why am I not getting the promotion I deserve?
So it starts from the company, or ideally it should start from the company.
Ideally, your company should be well structured enough to have that policy. But assuming you don't have all of that, as an employee, I should then be bold to go to HR and find out that, is it about me coming to work? If it's 10 boxes of tomatoes that I'm supposed to be packing, I've packed the 10. Why am I not getting promoted?
Yes,
so you should be asking those brilliant questions to HR that, look, I'm doing everything that is expected of me. I think I'm actually going overboard. I'm doing more than expected.
Yeah.
Why am I still not getting promoted? You see. So these are the questions that you should be asking yourself and be tackling, and should be going to HR to find out. So it's not really about women. Again, I come back. It's about employees and being bold enough to go and ask the question.
When an employee comes to you with a complaint about their manager, what happens behind the scenes? Take us there.
Great. You'll be there actually. So, like any professional HR, you're expected to listen well, because as, let me say, trivial as the issue might be from the beginning, there might be more to it than you're actually hearing. So you need to listen attentively and then get the salient points. For some HR, I know that they'll even take a paper and pen and jot down. Those are traditional HR. But it's a good thing anyway. So you really need to listen well. And then you also need to get both parties. That is one thing that I know as professionals we have thought on how to handle. So you should get both parties, ensure that you've gotten all the parties actually involved, their view on it. And then for, again, well-structured companies should have sanctions policies and grievance policies in place. So you go there then to refer to whatever is in the policy to see that the actions that have been meted out, what sanctions or what is the process of handling whichever issue has been brought to you. So first of all, you listen, and then you get both parties, and then you go and then refer to your policy. So in as much as employees get grieved and all of that, HR2 is there to protect people's reputation and dignity. So we don't take those things lightly at all.
Okay.
Yes.
So in protecting people's reputation and dignity, how does that play out when, for instance, someone comes to you to report a sexual assault case? Because I know that as women, like, there have been cases, like, people who have had, sexual assault cases at the workplace or have been sexually assaulted at work. How is that usually handled?
That's a very sensitive case, because as a woman, if you come and then you tell me that this particular gentleman is harassing me, to even come and then confide in HR or the disciplinary team to listen to you takes a lot of courage.
Yeah.
I say this because I know people's reputation are at stake. So that's a very sensitive case. But as professionals, how we handle this is that, again, we listen. We create that environment to allow you to be able to come and then speak to us. But how it's being dealt in depth will actually vary from company to company. Yes. But as professional on a general basis, we listen, we ensure that we are keeping your reputation well, so that you don't go feeling that you're going to be branded as that lady, that gentleman. Yeah. I know you've had a couple of issues in Ghana concerning a similar instance, okay? And then later it backfired in the lady's face. Let me say, it's a lot of courage for a lady to come and tell you that a gentleman is harassing me in one way or the other. So we actually do our job professionally when it comes to that. For some companies, once the complaint is lodged, they would invite their legal team, because it can go south eventually. Yes, so it will depend on the company's policy laydowns and then how they handle it.
Do you think that women should report these things? Because I feel like a lot of people who have been sexually assaulted or harassed, at the workplace, are not likely to talk about it. Not even just because it's at the workplace. We have a silence culture. Like, oh, don't talk about it. Like, just, keep it hush, hush, hush. Do you think we should talk about it some more? Do you think women should come to you some more to say, this person touched me inappropriately?
I'm happy you mentioned culture. In our certain Ghanaian culture, it's a dicey case, let me say, for you to come out and then mention that somebody is harassing me. And one thing I actually do as an individual is talk to the young ladies. I encourage them to speak up, because you don't want to get to the top and then later an issue like this comes, because probably the guy now feels that, look, why is she rising than I am doing? And then he brings this issue that, look, when she was here, she used to sleep with me, she used to do this. Yes, so you are better off mentioning it, coming to report it, so that in the event where you reach your top, these things don't stab you in the back. So I encourage ladies. I also encourage them that, look, don't extend sexual favors for anything at the workplace. Keep it professional. Keep it professional for your own sake, for the culture of the company, so that we encourage more people to come in, more ladies to take up certain positions and not be scared and not be worried of being harassed, not be, even when it comes to interviews, do you know that there are times that people feel that they need to extend sexual favors to get
a job.
The job.
I can understand why. There's just this mentality like, oh, maybe if I don't sleep with a person, I'm not going to get it, but it shouldn't be.
So imagine you got a job after doing whatever you did, and then now you're a manager, and then this gentleman comes and say, look, this lady has no debt. She has no staff. You don't want that to be tagged to you. So keep it professional at the workplace all the time.
Office politics. Should we get into it or not? As someone who wants to rise through the ranks, what do I do with it? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Should I just go do my work, talk about my work, go home? Or go do my work, if somebody's playing the politics, play it, and then go home?
Okay. So we'll do this together. What do we understand by politics? If you Google right now, it should tell you that they are the activities that people do to improve somebody's status. Okay. So if this is just about politics, then why can't I do it? But if you go further and then you want to find about what office politics is, that is where there's a bit of debt anyway. For some of the explanations, it would mention the fact that they are the don'ts that people do, the tarnishing of images, the gossip, the painting people black, and all
throwing
of that.
People under the bus.
Crushing them in and out, just so that they can rise. And others would also let you know that it's a strategic move you make so that you can rise. So depending on your values as an individual, as a human being, you can decide for yourself. Now, let me go into the strategic part of it. So let me say, your mother, you have 2 children. One of the child keeps doing the things you don't like. Maybe as a mother, you expect that children, both of them should bath by 7 p.m., pick their books, learn for about an hour before they sleep. One of them keeps doing that, knows that mommy likes this. The other just wants to live their life. Okay, so as a mother, which one of these children? Mothers are not supposed to be, biased. But as the person keeps doing what you like, eventually it keeps the person in your face.
Exactly.
Yes, you don't throw away the other child, because maybe this example is not that good. But let me add another example. So for my manager, she expects that you give her updates. That's one thing she loves. She doesn't expect that she's asked you to do it. She wants, she's expecting that you give her the update every time. So I know that this gets to her. In fact, if you don't give it to her, you see the other part of her. She's a very sweet person. But she doesn't see the reason why every time she has to come to you and ask, what's up, how far with this, how far with that. Yes. So knowing this, why won't I just do what my manager expects of me? Is it even bad?
No, it's
not bad. Yes. So this is the strategic part of office politics.
Okay.
But the getting into the mad part is the don'ts that I just mentioned. That being
like husband,
and yes,
husband
and
the
all of
boss.
that. So office politics is dicey for you.
It is. It I feel like I personally got into office politics rather late in my career. And if I could do something differently, I would play actively in it. Right. I think it's a game. And so we are here to win, so we'll play it. I mean, not in the shady way, because of course I feel like there's some things that you don't do as a human being. But at the same time, it's just what it is. Like, you just have to, do you want it or not? You know, like, do you want that promotion? Do you want the raise? Do you want the money? You have to do what you need to do. But a lot of the time, I think that people struggle to draw the line. You know, like, I really need that promotion, and maybe the only way I can get is to bring you down so I can get up. And so, yeah, it's very bad.
But let me add to that. So you bring me down, you are there, and then what happens next?
Then they bring another person down. Look, I've actually seen, I've seen the dirtiest of politics. Like, sometimes I just go home and I think to myself, God, will these people come and meet you someday? Because it's really dirty. So, yeah. They just keep rising. You know? Because, I used to think that, like, if you're evil at a point in your life, you start going down. But, as an adult,
they just keep rising. They keep rising. But you see, eventually, whatever, it will just take, it's a matter of time. It will just take some time. But eventually, something will happen. Something will eventually happen. And if you were rising, pushing people down to rise, at a point, you will not have depth. You will not be that deep. When you speak, people don't feel the wildness of it because you didn't gather enough knowledge, enough experiences to get there. That's what colleagues are there for. People have different orientation. Okay, you grew up in a different environment. I grew up in a different environment. So our thoughts about certain things wouldn't align. But coming to meet you, I pick up one or two things from you. You pick up one or two things from me. And then it remolds me, shape me in a better way. Okay. So these things are required. That conflict is healthy conflict. Okay. But to just push you under the bus, that Jifa, down the drain, no, it is not morally right. Okay.
People don't care about morals.
Yeah, so
it can really be brutal. It can really be brutal. How do you coach women to take up space at the workplace, to speak in meetings, to talk about their work, to own their brilliance at the workplace?
So there's no one size fits all strategy. Depending on how passionate you are as a professional, you would look at the individuals at play. You might have a template on what to do exactly, but you have to look at the individuals involved. Let me use an example. So there's this lady at our front desk on the floor, and there were two actually. I approached both of them. I was like, how long do you want to be at the front desk? Because as you sit there thinking that something else will come, time is running. So you should have a plan. So I tasked both of them to put down a plan for the next 6 months. Okay. I had to chase the second one for a number of times because she's shy, like dead shy. So I asked her, how are you managing at the front desk? Because
you're too shy.
You're too shy. Like, you're too shy. Then I had to probe further. Okay. So it took a lot of questions, a lot of probing to know exactly what could get her to come out of her shell. Okay, so these are two women. I talked to them. I encouraged them. You can pick another senior member you see in the bank and then try and find what is the model. Okay, so find out what is there about this person that I can do. I can actually call the person and then ask one or two questions and try and be talking to the person frequently. So these are mentors. I'm talking about mentors, models in the bank that you can be reaching out to them and then be speaking to them about how they got to where they are and all of that. So I encourage them to find mentors. I encourage them to find, maybe model is too
It's okay. I mean, in this context, it's okay because you're looking at it from the work, point of view, so it's fine.
So find a model, find a mentor, speak to the person, but by all means, don't be where you are.
Yeah.
Everybody has what it takes. Everybody has it. It just might be in the raw state, so you need to nurture it. Yeah. And you might need other people to help you nurture that. Okay, so I encourage them that you have something. You cannot just think that you are just there. Like, you have something. Everybody has something. So I would encourage them that read books, watch other people, not just in your industry, outside the industry, because in as much as you're in a particular industry, you meet other people. Yeah. So you need to know more than your environment. Okay. Sure. So I encourage them to read more, watch people, even rehearse being like them. Yeah. Not with the notion that I want to be this person eventually, but as you do that, it gives you some confidence, and then the you part of it also comes out. Yes.
That's a good one. Have you ever had to fire someone? I know you've done.
Truth is, I haven't had to fire somebody personally, but I had to say something to determine the person's fate.
Oh.
Yes. And
how does it feel like being powerful?
Wow. So it's not about that. It's not about that. It's about the virtues and values that you stand for. Recently, I experienced something, not in my company, but I experienced someone's, it was a disciplinary hearing, okay, and the person had to leave. Now, the person mentioned how insensitive the company was because they knew his state and all of that. And I felt that, this is somebody's husband. This is the father in the house going home without, a job. So it's a lot of emotions, but hey, you have to be professional. Yes, you have to be professional about it.
From the perspective of an HR professional, have you ever had to stand up against senior leadership's decision?
Yes. So this point actually, or this question, takes a lot of intelligence. Let me see. There's something called emotional intelligence, and there's maturity as well. Now you're looking at senior leadership. Let me put them figuratively as the rock, okay? And there's a way to seep through as water. It's about how you present your opinion. Okay, so I've had to stand up against my manager, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy because it was in a meeting, actually, and everybody was there. And it was the early part of my career, and I wasn't expecting to actually burst out, but I had to, because I realized that the decision that was being made from their perspective was okay, but I had to also look at another person's perspective and then look at morality. How are we thinking about this person? How are we attacking this issue from a neutral point of view? So I had to interject. And after that, it wasn't an easy thing. It wasn't an easy thing because everybody was coming back at me that, look, that's manager. Like, why did you do that?
Talk back.
Yes, like, you don't talk about that. That's one of the things that is hurting our current generation. Thankfully, we are noticing that and teaching our children to speak up. But that's one thing that is not going in favor for some of us. We are timid. We don't know how to present cases before management. Look, if it has to be said, it has to be said. But you just have to find the level ground. You just have to be professional about it and then attack it. So yes, I would encourage people to do that anyway, but be wise about it and have that emotional intelligence anyway.
So it's okay to stand for something, even if you ruffle feathers a bit.
That's why, be wise about it. Yes. There are times that you should speak up. There are times that you should lay back and watch how the thing is playing before you speak up. So you just have to be wise about it, but you indeed have to be wise.
There's a lot of talk around unequal pay at the workplace for women. I don't know if the bank experiences this, because I kind of think that you guys have like a band. So every band and the amount of money they pay, whether male or female. But from where you stand, how do you think that if I have a job and I realize that they're paying my male counterpart more than they're paying me? I've actually had a job like that before in the past year. That they're paying my male counterpart, like same level, same role, but different salaries. How would you advise me to approach this?
Okay, so I'm actually hearing this from you for the first time, that you've actually gone through it.
But the job was not in Ghana, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So depending on the structure of the company, where I am, there's no way we're going to do that because of gender. No. Yeah. It would probably be because of experience. Yeah. It would be maybe because of inputs or output, actually.
So even if it's the same role, if I have more experience than the next person, I'm going to get more salary?
It's possible.
Okay.
Not that you are going to get, but then it's possible that maybe at that time I'm on a particular band before you came in.
Yeah.
And you came in at a different band. So it would obviously not be the same by the time you got in. Yeah. So then it depends on the structure of the company. But if it happens, there is nothing wrong with approaching HR, not to go and fight about it, but you want to get better.
Yeah.
So then you want to ask about it. Yeah, so you can go and then find out, but not that you're going to fight about it anymore.
Yeah, but do I go and say, hi, so Kwesi has, say, 100,000 more than I do.
Well,
why?
In some companies, we treat pay as your personal thing. So I don't know why. How did you even get that information in the first place?
No, because Kwesi would tell you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Kwesi told me that he got this and that. I don't think I would have to go to HR. It doesn't put me in that professional view. But I can go with a different argument that, well, I think that, or I'm of the opinion that I'm bringing this much. This is how I started.
Okay.
Yes. So if you always go with the business sense, I promise you would have audience than going with the comparison and going to complain part of it. But if you approach it with business, like, I think that I've brought this percentage of what's in the past. So I think I deserve a raise and all of that. That should help you.
That's a good angle. I never thought of that. I mean, I didn't go and ask, but I'm sure that if I did, I would go and say, hi, you gave Kwesi this. Why are you giving me this? Or when are you going to give me mine?
I can understand.
Because it feels unfair. If I join a new job today, what are the things I need to do in the first 3 months of my job from an HR perspective?
Okay. I like that from an HR perspective because it would have made it quite broad. But from an HR perspective, I'm expecting that you understand the job.
Yeah.
First of all, you might know what you're about to do, but understand the culture that you are coming into. I would also advise that you build strategic relationships.
Okay.
Yes. And then I would also advise that you decide to be visible. That's one thing that most of us shun away from doing. I don't know what it is, whether we feel that we are proud if we let our light shine, but you're supposed to.
That's a very funny angle.
Look, you're supposed to let your light shine.
Like, you're so proud you're not being visible.
Yeah, like, no, it happens. It happens. In fact, I'm an example. When I started working, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
When I joined HR, my manager then advised me that I should find a quick win. So I looked through their processes and I realized that there's a lot of paper. That was so many years ago. There's a lot of paper. I love technology, but I'm in HR. What can I do? So I merged the two. I went to see technology. I spoke to them that this particular process demands that you use about 12 papers for one individual. In a day, you should be doing like 15 or 20 of these
processes.
Yes, processes. Why not automate?
Yeah.
I went to see technology. They automated the process. Oh, it was a good one.
Hey.
If I was that good that this was meant for HR, but eventually the bank adapted it. Yes, so I felt that, wow, I'm this inexperienced person, but I've been able to make this kind of a stride. Why am I not letting it out? And I'm like, no. I mean, what's so special about it?
So that's why, like, you look at it from the pride angle.
And one of the senior managers then met me and said, why are you not selling this out? Because this is a good one.
Yeah.
You came to meet a number of people. They didn't achieve this. Why are you sitting on it? But Jifa, I was there. I did not do anything about it until it got to a point where I understood what visibility meant. It took another person coming into the space, and that person was just embracing the very tiny things that he or she was doing. And then management saw her, things were moving. I was like, look, you are slacking.
Yeah.
Make sure you're visible. That's different from like being proud and no, make sure that if it's you being acknowledged for how well you're doing on something, embrace it.
Okay.
If I just embrace it and then talk about it, speak up. Don't be shrinking and then lay it back. No, that's one of the things that people do, that they stay where they are.
Yeah.
They are not able to sell their ideas and achievements well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's really true. I think a lot of the time we are just like trying to be humble, but in your words, it means that we're being proud. Yeah,
actually,
because you don't want to bring eyes on you. Like, oh no, I don't like the attention. No. I don't want people to.
Please, no.
Yeah, but you need to talk.
One thing that comes to mind is that we need to be emotionally intelligent. If I'm hailing you that you've done so well, what are you also telling yourself in your mind?
Yeah.
Yes. So if you're able to keep that check balance in your mind, yes, you shouldn't be shy when somebody's hailing you for something. Yeah, I don't keep a check.
I tell myself, you're garbage.
That's interesting.
I'm like, yeah, I did that. Of course. Who else? It's me.
Yes. The good book Bible says that let your light so shine before men that they may see the good way. So you have to let it. Yeah, the gas to see it.
It's interesting. I feel like in a lot of the conversations that I have, there's always like something around visibility. I think it's a core thing to make it in the corporate world. Like you have to. One time I had this job and there was this guy and he would hop on meetings and he would say the same thing that somebody has said, but there's no meeting that you don't hear his voice. It's very annoying. But then, like you sit back and then you watch such people just like, vibes. And it's as if the wind just pushes them, because they allowed their voice to be heard. So, yeah.
But I would have to say that there is a difference between being loud and then speaking up.
Okay.
So, I want you to know what I've done.
Yeah.
It does not mean that I have to steal somebody's idea or have to speak up when we are having a meeting. Hey, I think that no, you can be silent and still be that powerful. Okay? So
how?
Exactly the point. Find the facts. Okay. Lay it down. If it's digits we are looking at, lay it down. I've done 50%. I've done 20%. And this is what it means in business sense. You are being hit. You are being strategic about how you are letting your success being hit. Okay. Done. Oh, I've done this thing so many times. So, hey, I think that like you're just there babbling. No. It shows that you are of value when you find it in the business sense. So everything, just find something relatable in the business sense and hit it hard.
Yes. Love it.
Yes.
Interesting. Visibility. Go and be visible at work.
Yeah.
How important are mentors versus sponsors?
So a mentor would be somebody who would guide you. Yes. A sponsor would be somebody who probably has a power seat. When I say power seats, can make decisions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. They're powerful.
Powerful. And this person can advocate for you. So that will be the sponsor. it is good to have both. There's a time for each of them. Obviously, why would you just stick to a sponsor because the person can probably advocate for you or say one or two things? Jifa, has done this, has done that. Jifa has done it. We've brought Jifa. Jifa should come and display, and then we cannot see what the sponsor was saying. So this is where the mentor comes in. The mentor would have guided you as to what you're supposed to be doing, how you get about doing those things. Yeah, so both of them are needed. There's a time for either of them. Yeah. But definitely a sponsor would do. I mean, you should get it.
I think, sponsor is very necessary.
Exactly.
As you're doing the work, you need someone to mention your names in those rooms. You need
when
someone
not
to
there.
say, like, it has to be her. Have you tried? Have you thought of her? I think you should give her a chance.
Exactly.
Yeah. For a very long time, I didn't know the difference between the two. I feel like sometimes one can serve both ways. So you can have a sponsor who is also your mentor.
Exactly.
But then you can have a mentor who is not a sponsor. A person's just there to guide you, but the person doesn't have any power to put you in the places that you need to be. So yeah. What's the best way to recover from a career mistake or misstep?
Well, I personally, I wouldn't call anything a mistake yet, because it will be a building platform for me, like a foundation, yes, to do something better on it. I'm sure if we should dig down, the foundation won't look nice.
Yeah.
So, I'll see it as a foundation. How to recover from that? It'll be good to first accept what happened. Okay, so accept it as it is actually looking at you in the face. Let me use myself as an example. So, one time I was, we did a customer service survey, and then when it came to HR, the results came out, and I was nominated as one of the people who are rude in HR, and it got to me, Jifa. It got to me. It got to me so badly, because hey, this was me always smiling at the counter. People were saying you smile too much and all of that. So how did I get here? So I had to accept it, that this is the view of a number of people.
Yeah.
What makes it so? And then I realized that it wasn't really about what I was doing. It is about how it is being perceived.
Yeah.
Exactly. So perception mattered. And at that point, I hadn't realized that in my career that perception mattered. So then that was one thing I learned about it. So that's the first thing you learn. First of all, you accept it, and then you learn from it. So how to recover? After hearing this, I couldn't even come to work. I was actually pregnant at that time. And so it really got to me. I took, I think, 2 weeks or so to stay at home, just to brood over it. But I got over it because I realized that, one, our culture doesn't hail certain actions.
Yep.
So in my mind, I'm just being plain with certain things, but there was a wiser way of handling it. So I learned that about it, and then started learning how to present such issues in the customer's perception. Yes. So then you learn from it, and then find better ways, refined ways of handling the issue. Yes. So that's how you recover from it.
What is the one thing that every woman starting her corporate career should know?
One is impossible.
There should be like 10 things.
Okay, so first impressions count. Yes, wherever you are, regardless of your position, of your role, your first impression counts. So it will take a number of other experiences to be able to clear off one negative impression.
Yeah.
So if it has to be rehearsal for the very first day, rehearse it and make sure that you are actually impressing in the positive manner.
Yeah.
Not that after that you go back, but that very first, you won't get the chance to come and explain yourself.
Day,
No, you might never even get the chance at all. But probably for other people, because you'll be working with them, you get the chance as time goes on. Oh, that's not how she is eventually. But it will take too much effort. Why don't channel that effort into hitting the first time positively. So that's one thing. Maybe I should add another one.
Yeah, go ahead.
Stay visible. This visibility thing is very important and is getting people top the ladder, and others are plateauing because of that. Yes. So make sure that you find quick wins to get you visible.
I believe in the power of quick wins, like mad. Like, because for me, my job, I do experiment. So I'm always like, experimenting on things. And one of the ways to actually get buy-in from senior leadership when you start, especially when you're starting a new experimentation program, is actually finding quick wins and then winning them and then showing them, oh, this is what we have done, if this is what we've achieved. And then they would then trust you, and say, okay, fine, you've done this, go ahead and do bigger things or take a lot more risk, and experiment on things that will typically not allow you to. Exactly. So yeah, I do believe in the power of quick wins. Thank you very much. Final question. What would you tell your 25-year-old self about building power in an organization?
That's a deep question. Well, power actually is not about titles or positions. They're about influence, how you influence people. So you can influence people on your desk.
Yeah.
You can influence people in the position. It's about how you're leading yourself so that you can influence others. So I would get myself to probably find ways to be more influential, not in the other sense, but then to impact people's life. Because once you do that, I'm able to speak to you if you are able to impact my life more, as opposed to, yes, you are the manager, but I can't reach out to you. I can't discuss performance with you and all of that. No. If you're able to impact to my life as a manager, then I'm sure I can reach out to you. So that sort of gives you that respect back, that now you are my manager. Whatever you say now, I think I'll be listening to it more, as opposed to the fact that, yes, I'm in the position, I'm the title leader or whatever. No. Once I'm able to impact your life and influence your life, that is power.
Yeah. So that's what we do. Thank you so much for coming.
Well,
I really enjoyed this conversation.
Same, Tifa. It's an honor. You're doing well.
Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that you made notes, and I hope that you stay visible at the workplace. And remember that HR is your partner. You're in this together. See you again next week. Please subscribe, like, and follow, and share with your friends. Bye-bye.
Bye.